in time. Okay. Okay. So anyway, let's get started as we have a 1 hour session and a like most interesting session. So I'll get started with our general instructions before our meetup. So specific request, mute your microphone while the presentation is happening, and we will have a question and answer session after the presentation. And if possible, camera please on it. That it's not a requirement, and yeah, if you have to stop the presenter or anyone, then please raise a hand before talking, so that presenter can observe this stuff. And a little bit of advertising on our side. We do have our social media channels, LinkedIn, Facebook, Meetup, and as well as YouTube. All our recordings will be always be hosted on our YouTube channel as well. And do follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook to know more and more updates. And this will be our 13th meetup. As you know, we might be doing like we are doing this from the past more than 3 years. And today, the most interesting topic what gonna have is we have had a similar topics of explaining XM Cloud inside World, and a lot of people know about XM Cloud. But recently, Sitecore came up with the XM Cloud certification, and Vishal, as I know from this company Altudo, where I've been also doing work there, so I know him pretty good trainer as well as a pretty good expert, site code expert, I would say. And he was one of the early persons who got certified in XM Cloud. And he is going to share us his expertise as well as some tips for the XM Cloud certification. And as you know, all the XM Cloud Sitecore projects, I would say, are becoming more and more XM Cloud oriented because I also truly believe the SaaS or the Jamstack approach is the way to go for any digital transformation. So we will be having a good amount of time, 50 minutes for Vishal Khera to give us some guidelines on the certification, a 5 minute session for the Q&A, and we'll be closing sharp 18 hours Riga time. So this is the agenda. If you don't have any questions, then I'll try. I would like to say few good words again about Vishal Khera. Like I said, pretty good guy, Sitecore expert in his field, and he's also early XM Cloud certified guy, and he's already known Sitecore trainer out in India as well as in Altudo as well, and he is presently a senior associate at Altudo, doing pretty good job as well. Vishal, is anything I missed? Do you want to cover yourself? Some more stuff, good stuff, some hidden magics of you?
Yeah, thanks for the kind words, Kranti. So, basically, as I think you covered everything, I'm a senior Sitecore developer, and I have exposure on Sitecore 8, 9, 10, and various versions of XP. Along with that, I'm exploring the composable products of Sitecore. So, XM Cloud is one of the latest one on which I have worked, and I have completed the certification as well. So, Kranti, do you have anything or can he start
No, yeah,
sharing?
please
Okay,
share your screen. Take over the screen share. Yeah,
okay, thank you.
let's get started. Yeah.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So yep, as like today's session is on elevate your expertise navigating XM Cloud certification. So in this session, like mostly I'm going to cover about the Sitecore XM Cloud certification exam, like what are the questions, important questions for the exam, and what are the topics which you need to cover before go for the exam. And if I talk about the exam, it is having 8 competency areas and 50 questions, and we have 100 minutes of duration to complete that exam. And the exam format and pattern will be the same, like if you are aware about the Sitecore 9 and 10 certification exam, the pattern will be the same. We have multiple choice questions, and the result will be displayed immediately on the screen once we are done with the exam. And we have a similar kind of steps we can review, mark the questions for review and those things. And I have split down each and every competencies with the number of questions. So like in first competencies we have 6 questions, then in second we have 8 questions. And like competencies are like XM Cloud architecture and developer workflow. Second one is deployment of XM Cloud projects, then rendering at layout, then Sitecore content serialization, then Sitecore APIs and webhooks, then XM Cloud pages, then security for developers, then data modeling. So these are the competencies through which exam is created, and we are going through each and every competencies in this session. So starting from first competency, XM Cloud architecture and developer workflow. So what is XM Cloud? Okay, so XM Cloud is a SaaS platform that includes DevOps out of the box. So it is a very good feature of XM Cloud. Earlier, in XP or in traditional site code, a developer is dependent on the DevOps engineer as well for the deployments. Like we need to create the CI/CD pipelines and set up a process for the deployment once we are done with the development. But with XM Cloud, it is a SaaS platform. It is a one major good thing about the XM Cloud. And second is it has DevOps out of the box. Like we have a deploy app in itself for the deployments, and it streamlines the development and deployment, and it offers a front-end builder capabilities as well. So we have a component builder through which we can create the components, and page builder, a lot of good features we are covering in the further slides. And like major features of XM Cloud is scalability and performance. Like sites which are built on XM Cloud is based on headless architecture. So they are more scalable and very good performance for the sites. And it is easy maintenance and management. Why we are saying like it is easy to maintain and manage? Because it is a SaaS platform. So Sitecore is taken care of all the bugs and any upgrades which are coming in. So Sitecore will take care of all those things. We don't need to worry for the upgrades or any other bugs. So Sitecore will handle everything from their side. And it has a multi-channel support. So we can create mobile applications or websites and different, it has a support on different channels. And there are multiple breakpoints as well. When we are going to create the components in XM Cloud, we can see how a component will look like in further multiple devices as well. You can check those things and integrate seamlessly. And integration is very easy with the XM Cloud. If you want to integrate any another DXP product, so it is easy to integrate the composable products with the XM Cloud, because everything will give us the data in the form of API, so we can easily integrate that with XM Cloud. And if we talk about this architectural diagram of this XM Cloud, so we have an XM Cloud, and on the cloud platform, we can create multiple projects based on the subscription. And each and every project is having 3 environments which we can create. One will be the production, and two will be the non-production environments. And Uh, on this XM Cloud, we have experience authoring things as well, which includes like component builder, page builder, and sites builder. We can say that. So we have option to create components, pages, and sites on the XM Cloud portal, and which is and there's a deploy app which we can link with the GitHub or our source code repository. We can link with the deploy app, and like in this, we can do our Next.js code, front-end code, and do the deployment on XM Cloud. We have an option to create components, pages, and sites. And after publishing, the content will be served via Experience Edge. As on XM Cloud, there is no CMCD servers. The sites will be delivered through Experience Edge. And there are some more important terminologies like content management instance. So this is a hub for creating, storing, managing sites. So content management is same like as we are seeing in XP, like there's a CM instance which is helpful for creating, storing, and managing the site's content, layout, and everything. And permissions also we can manage in a CM instance. Then we have a deploy app. So this is one of the more important topic with respect to the certification exam, because like we will be covering in further slides more about this deploy app. So it will help us to manage the projects and the deployments on various environments. Then we have Experience Edge is a like API based service, so which like sites will be served now, and we don't have any CD servers. And then there is a site collection. Site collection is also one of the major topic. You will get 2 to 3 questions on this site collection in the exam. And to explain this site collection, if you guys are aware about the SXA architecture in the content tree, we have a structure like we have a tenant folder. Under that, we have a tenant, then we have a site folder, and we have a site. In similar way, in case of headless, we have a site collection folder, and this is similar as of a tenant folder. Then we have site collection. This is similar as of tenant, then site folder site. And on tenant level as well in SXA, we have a multiple good features. Like we have a concept of a shared site. So we can create any site as a shared site. And like shared site concept means like we can any component or any page design, partial design, which is created under the shared site can be reused by the other sites as well, which will be created under the same tenant. Like if we have 15 or 20 sites created under the same tenant, and we have created components in one site and make that site as a shared site, so other 15 sites will be able to use those components as well. So this is the concept. And if we want to delete any site collection, so basically we have a right click on any of the site or site folder or site collection. We can right click, and under scripts we have an option to remove the site folder or site collection folder, or we can do those things. Like there are some out of box PowerShell scripts which we can execute to delete this structure as well if we want to. Then we have a Sitecore Cloud Portal. Sitecore Cloud Portal is a central hub for managing DXP products. In this cloud portal, we have access like all the products, DXP products like Content Hub or other personalization or other products like Sitecore Connect. All are accessible under the same cloud portal like XM Cloud. I will showcase you this cloud portal as well. Then we have a starter template. It is a basic code base which we can clone in the starting, which will include all the resources and components for XM Cloud project. Then, like if we have an XM Cloud environment, then there should be roles as well. Like we can't give access of that environment to everyone. So there are 3 kind of roles on XM Cloud portal. First one is organization user, then admin, then organization owner. So if we talk in hierarchy, so this one is the topmost. Like organization owner means owner has access of everything. Like he has access to remove anyone. Like he can remove admin, remove users, and add admin or add users or add another owner as well. Okay. But admin has access only to manage the users and other admins. Admin won't be able to manage the owner. Like if admin want to remove any owner, so he don't have access to remove or manage the owners. So owner has much power to manage admin and users. Admin has power to manage other admins and users. And organization user has only access to the limited apps. So like if we have a cloud portal and we have a access of 10 applications over there, like uh, XM Cloud, and we have a Content Hub and other like X Connect as well, like other things as well, like Sitecore Connect as well over there. So we can give access to a particular application. If we want a specific user only need access to the XM Cloud, then only we can give the access of that particular application to the user. So we can, based on that, we can give the access, I will showcase that as well in further slides. Then we have a connect XM Cloud pages to your local XM Cloud instance. So to connect, it is very easy step to connect the local XM Cloud with the pages to the local XM Cloud instance. So basically in the application panel, so we have a storage section in the local storage. When we open the developer tool, inspect any of the page, and in the developer tool, we have an application tab. Under that, we have a local storage. In that only we need to use this key and value to connect the XM Cloud pages with the local XM Cloud instance. And second competence is deployment of XM Cloud projects. So once we are done with the components and creating the components, and we want to do the deployment, so there are three ways to do the deployment of XM Cloud projects. So first one is XM Cloud Deploy app, then followed by CLI, then REST APIs. So the major focus in the certification exam would be on deploy app because this is the newly launched and good feature through which we can easily manage and do the deployments. So it is a graphical user interface that provides a user-friendly way to create, manage, and deploy XM Cloud projects and environments. And CLI, as we know, we can simply use the command line interface and hit some commands through the CMD to execute the deployment on any of the XM Cloud environment, and we can use the REST APIs as well. But in exam, most probably like you will get the questions on this because it is the new good feature. And if we talk about more about this XM Cloud Deploy app, so who has access of this deploy app? You must be an organization admin or owner in the Sitecore Cloud portal. Okay. If you want to do the deployments or manage the deployments, the user must be has admin role or the owner. Only then he will be able to do the deployment. Okay. And if we want to grant a team member access to the XM Deploy app, so this deploy app and cloud portal, XM Cloud portal, two are different things. Like if you want to give the access of this deploy app, we need to make the user as admin. Only then he will be able to access the deploy app as well to manage the deployments. Okay, then to access the deploy app, we have this URL. I will showcase you live as well in the end. And there are multiple good features of the deploy app. We can like we can create the new projects, and we can associate our project with the environment as well. When we are going to create a project, there's an option to select like on which environment we want to associate that particular project, and we can do that at the time of project creation only. Then we have a environment management and source control integration. So I will show you like when we are going to create a new project, there is an option to link that project with a GitHub repository as well. Okay, so we can link our project with a GitHub, and then there are multiple other options as well when we want to do the deployment. If we want to set some rules whenever a new push has been whenever there a new code change has been committed to that particular branch, and we want to trigger the deployment, so we can set up those rules as well whenever we are going to create a new project. So I will showcase you practically this thing, so you will get more understanding in the end for this. And it is a GUI based, so it is a graphical user interface. So it is basically designed for the users who may not be comfortable with the CLI or command line interface and want to more intuitive experience. So those can use the XM Cloud Deploy app, or they can easily do the deployments on XM. Then we have a deployment logs. So if we have created the components and doing the deployment, there should be some errors as well. Okay, so we have a deployment logs. It is an essential tool which we from which we can track and manage the progress of XM Cloud deployments. Okay, so we can see the progress. So it consists of there will be 2 to 3 questions as well from this deployment logs as well in the exam. And it seems to be simple enough, like we have only 4 steps and we can do it, but there are questions from these things as well. So so what information we will get from the deployment logs? It displays deployment progress, status, warnings, and errors. We can see all those things from the deployment logs. And It has four things like provisioning, build, deployment, and post section. What provisioning includes is it is a prerequisite kind of a thing like start of the environment and those things. Then there's a build, then deployment, it will do the deployment. Then post section means it will do the publishing and all those things as well, like in the post section. And what other actions we can do it from this deploy app or the deployment logs dashboard. So we can cancel the running deployment and we can rerun a failed deployment. If any deployment is failed, we can rerun that deployment and we can promote the deployment to the another environment as well. We can download the logs. We can open the XM Cloud dashboard. There is a button to go to the dashboard as well, like XM Cloud. So I will showcase you practically. That will give you more better understanding. That we have a renderings and layouts. So rendering and layouts is a kind of a similar thing. Like if you are aware about the SXC, so we have a page design and partial design concept. So in headless or in headless architecture as well, or if we talk about XM as well, whenever we are going to create a new site, we know like this page design and partial design has make our life very easy, right? So when we have a partial designs that allow us to maintain consistency and save time when we're building and updating the web pages. So when we make a change at one place, it will be automatically done on all the pages. Those are using the same partial design. So it is very easy for us to make the consistency among the pages. Like if we have a blog detail page and like if we have a blog detail page, then how we structure that page. Like we have a basically this kind of thing like header partial and footer partial. These will be consistent throughout the site. So we can create a separate like partial designs for header and footer, and we can create a new page design for blog detail page. And on that blog detail page, we can there's a multi-list field right on the page design in which we can select various partial designs. So we can select header partial and footer partial, and we can create a blog detail body partial design. On that, we can add multiple various components on the main section. So this is the structure which we can use to create the pages. And the beauty of partial design is like it is help us to make the consistency and the various key pointers. And if you want to, control the authors to only place a particular renderings in a particular placeholder, then we can restrict them as well. So in footer, I don't want anyone to add accordion, or I want only like in footer, authors have option to add only the simple components like image or rich text or link list. Only these three, four components I want author to add in the footer partial. So on the footer partial placeholder, we can set on footer placeholder, we have an option to set the restriction or to set allow controls. So we can allow only the three, four controls on the particular placeholder. So no one will be able to add the complex components on the footer. So those things we can handle through the placeholder restriction, and we can link the page design to the data templates. So when we have created a page designs and like the best approach is to instead of attaching that page design to the item level, we can map that with the template level. So on page design item itself, we have an option to map the page designs with the template. If we have a blog detail page design like blog detail page design we have and we have a template for blog detail separate template, then we can map the page design with the template, because it will easily help us if in future we want to change the page design. So it will be with respect to the template only instead of doing it on the item level. Sometimes, if it's on item level, sometimes the author may miss that, or someone may remove that from particular item. It will break that particular page. But if it's on template, we can map it with the template. It's good enough and easy for us to do a change at a single place, and it will reflect for all the blog detail pages. Then there's one more important point is like do not add components directly to the page design. As we all know, like the structure would be the components will be added on the partial design and partial designs will be selected on the page design. And we can map the page design with the templates. So this is the like structure which we can follow to create the pages in the site code. Then we have a building components in XM Cloud. So, Sitecore like recently launched the component builder as well in XM Cloud to create the components. And we can say that it is a most upgraded version of a kind of experience editor. It is a Canva mode. Okay, so we can create new components or modify already existing components using intuitive WSYSIWYG builder. What it means is what you see is what you get. Okay, so on the page itself, like if you want to move anything like on hero banner, I have a text coming. I can move that text anywhere, up, right, middle, top, bottom, anywhere, wherever I want to move the text. If I want to change the style, I want to change the color, I want to change the background image, everything will be handled very easily. So this component builder, we can easily create the components, and we can see that component at various breakpoints as well, like how component will look like in various breakpoints. There are a lot of good features of this component builder. And if we talk about benefits of Action Cloud component, so allow designer to resize and style the components. It's the same thing. Content authors can easily add components to the site pages via pages application. So there's a page builder and component builder. And on page builder, content authors can easily add the components right on the pages. Then there are multiple integration options. So it is a low code, no code solution for content authors and designers. So there's no need to do a coding. If you want to create a simple like components, you can simply create into the Action Cloud and map the data sources with that component. So it's easy to create the components for the authors, and developers can bring your own code. Like we can create the custom components as well in the Next.js solution, and we can register those components in the component builder. So those will be also available in the component builder, so authors can use those components as well to add them on the pages. It could content serialization. It is also one of the most important topic. Like I know it was there in Sitecode 10 certification exam as well, and in Action Cloud certification as well. Like you will get the questions, like 4 to 5 questions on this topic, like content serialization. So Sitecore content serialization is a system for serializing, sharing, and deploying content items as well, keeping them in version control. So like as we know, the benefit of content serialization is to manage the Sitecore content items as well in the source control or the repository. So if there is any issue, like the changes with ourselves only, and we can easily move the changes from one environment to another through the Sitecore content serialization. And the scope is required, like whenever we are creating the Sitecore serialization configuration, so we need to define the scope as well, right? If we want to include only the single item, we can use the scope single item. Only the context item will be included in this case. And if you want to include item and children, so it will include the immediate children only, not the descendants. And if you want to use item and descendants, it will include all the children of that parent. Then we have descendants only. It will include only the descendants, not the parent item or the context item. And if you're not setting the scope, so default will be the item and descendants. So this will be the default scope of the path if we are not defining the scope of the serialization. And we can do the serialization like manually or automatically as well, like through the commands. Like if we hit the command on the CMD or in the Visual Studio Code terminal, we can hit the commands for the, pull and push the changes, and we can use the automatic serialization as well. So whenever the new item has been created or updated, it will be automatically serialized with the source control. And to do that, like there are multiple commands we have. And to install the serialization plugin, we need to use this command. It will help us to install that serialization plugin. And there are multiple important commands which we can use. So .NET serialization, .NET Sidecar serialization info. We can use info subcommand for show serialization configuration information. Then we have a pull subcommand. Subcommand will be used to serialize the content item from site code to the file system. Pull means we are pulling the content from site code to the file system. And we have a push command. Push is for pushing the files or the content items from the file system to the site core. So we are pushing the files to the site core. So these are the pull and push commands. Then we have a watch subcommand. So WhatsApp command will be used basically like if I'm working as a developer and I started my day in morning and I'm making multiple changes at various places, and in evening when I'm going to raise the pull request, maybe I missed few of the changes and I forgot like on what items I have worked today. So it is one of the more good command. I can execute the watch command and then start doing my work. So it will automatically monitors the changes, whatever I am changing, and it will automatically serialize the changes to the file system. So we can use the WhatsApp command if you want to monitor the changes. Okay. And if you want to exclude anything from serialization, so we can specify that in the sitecode.json file. Then we have APIs and webhooks. So webhooks is also one of the most important topic from the exam perspective, and there will be 2 to 3 questions from this webhooks as well. So webhooks are like you can receive the real-time notification about events or workflow actions that occur in XM Cloud by adding a webhook. So in XM Cloud, like if there is any event on, and if you want a notification on any event, like if someone created any item or approved any item, approved the workflow of any item, and we want notification for that, so we can use the webhooks for that. Okay, and basically like there are three types of webhooks: webhook event handler, webhook submit action, and webhook validation action. Webhook event handler is like you can configure a webhook event handler to send a request to a specified endpoint when an item with a web page template is created. Suppose I want a notification to be triggered whenever a new item has been created. So I can create a new webhook event handler, and in that like I can define like when any item is created with this particular template, it should trigger the request, HTTP post request, and to a specific endpoint, and through which we can trigger the notifications. Then we have a webhook submit action. Webhook submit action is basically used if we want a notification at the time of approval. So if any user approve the workflow state of any item and we want a notification to be triggered for that, so we can use the webhook submit action. So whenever the item has been submitted for the approval, we will get that. Then there's a validation action. So now we don't want only the notification after the approval of item, but we want to validate that item as well. Okay. So in this scenario, like we can add a webhook validation action to a command item of a workflow that changes the state from in review to approved. So whenever an item state has been moved from in review to approved state, the command is executed, the webhook send an HTTP request to the specific endpoint, and then endpoint must return a response validating the command. If we are not getting the response from the endpoint, then the item state will not be changed. So we are validating whether the item which is approving is correct or not. So only after getting the response, the item state will be changed. So because in this for that scenarios, like we can use the webhook validation action. So these are the three webhooks which can be used. Then we have a XM Cloud pages. So as I mentioned, like we have a page builder and component builder. So XM Cloud pages is one of the another app, and it is also like a WSIWIG, like produces what you get editor. So pages as well, you can create very easily. You can move the components. You can easily make the changes, and you can change the graphics, logos, text, and everything on the page. Okay. And you can view the page as it will appear. So we have an option. We can view how we have option to preview the page, how it will appear once once we publish that page. And we can create the new pages in the page builder, and we can edit the existing pages as well. And we can add the components, remove the components, move the components, and anything we can do on the page builder. Then we have a components. It is like a similar thing, like we can create the components in the component builder, as I think we already covered that component thing. Then we have a publishing. So here we have a publishing to the experience edge. Whenever we create a new website with Sitecore, we create various type of content items. Like we have created media items, we have created navigations, or we have created multiple things like data sources, content items, templates, and we can push everything on the edge now after the publishing, because the content will be served via edge. And the best practice which is we need to follow when we are going to do the publishing is the workflows. So workflows, Sitecore strongly recommended implementing workflows to control publishing, because like if we rely on manual publishing, then accidentally sometimes some content which is currently in progress, which is not ready to yet publish, is published by mistake. So it's always recommended to use the workflows. And in publishing pipeline, we have a publishing pipeline here. So the main purpose of publishing pipeline is to calculate the additional entities to publish, calculating dependencies. So like calculating dependencies, like if any item which is having based on a particular template and there are multiple data sources attached or components are added on that page, so it will publishing pipeline will check all the dependencies are there or not, like whether we need to so whenever we publish a page, it will also help us to publish the data sources and other things as well to resolve the dependencies, so our page will be um, serve correctly without any errors. So like these are the four steps of publishing pipeline, like calculating additional entities to publish, calculate dependencies, resolve dependencies, and deleting old or expired content. If any content which is in CM instance and earlier, but when I'm going to trigger publish now and some items are not there, so it will delete them from the experience edge as well when we publish, do the publish. Then we have a security for developers. So security is a kind of a similar thing for the sites. Like we need to like we talked about security earlier for the cloud portal, but for the sites, the security will be same as we have in the Sitecore XP or in the traditional world. Okay, so we can define the access rights on the user level or role level or the domain level as well. So as we know, like it's always preferred to give the access on the role level. So if we want to modify the permissions or if we want to add more users to that particular role, we can simply assign the role to that user. So it's easy always to change the permissions to the group of users instead of doing one for a particular user. So basically the key pointers are you can use roles to manage website authorization. Roles allow the group of users into the structured units such as managers. Also, if you have a different kind of users, like we have a developers or we have authors. So based on their role, we can create multiple roles and assign the users to that role, and access with permissions will be handled via role only. Like we can give the read write access on whatever permissions we want to give for the items we can give on the role level. Then and we have like roles give you the flexibility to change permissions and to add or remove users without having to make changes to the whole website. And we have a deny will take precedence always. So whenever a user is having two roles, and on one role we are giving the access, allow access, and on second role we're having the deny access of that particular item. So deny will always take the precedence. So user will not be able to say that particular item. So there will be multiple scenario questions which will be based on these things. Like if a user is having one role and we give the another role to that user, and few items are now not visible to the user. So there might be the scenarios like the another role which we assigned now is having the deny permissions for those items which are now not visible to the user. So this security will be the kind of a similar thing as in Sitecore XP, but you will get the questions from this as well in the exam, like user and role level and how we can manage the security thing. Then we have a data modeling. Add a language version to SX site. So in data modeling is like there are some questions based on these things, like if you have a site and we want to create a language site. So, like if any of you have created the language site, so the best way is we have a script, out of box script to create the language site. So, when we right click on the site node, So we can simply on the scripts we have a add a language version. There's a script add a language version in the site. After clicking on that, there's a pop-up, and on that pop-up we need to select like existing language and the new language which we want to create. So, and we can create the site, and it will, as it's a language manager, add the language to all site items. So all the site items will create, have the version in the new language now, once we execute this script. And the content, the field value will also be copied from the source language to the new version of the target language. Okay. So if I already have a site in English and I want to create a Danish version of my complete site, and if I use this thing, it will automatically create the Danish version of all the items, required items, and move the field values as well from English to the Danish. Then we can update the content in Danish and do the add the required content in that version. Then important pointers for this is like standard values item contains all field defined in the data template. So we have a standard values as well on the template level, which consists of like all the fields, like whether based on that particular time template or the inherited template as well. So in standard field values, we can define the tokens as well, like dollar name or those kind of things. So whenever the new item is created, it will automatically populate the field value with the item name and those things. Like these are the basic things like which there might be there's some questions as well in the exam on these things as well. Then we have templates. So whenever we are going to start creating any component, so basic thing is we need is the template to define the data structure before creating any website. Sorry. Then we have a template inheritance. So there are some scenarios in inheritance as well, like whenever we have a template and we inherited two templates on a one template, like we have a two templates A, B, and we inherited both templates on C template. And there are fields common in A and B. Now, what will happen if we are going to create an item based on C template? So we will be able to see the duplicate fields now. If both inherited templates having the same fields, so we will get the duplicate fields. The fields will not merge when we use the same field names onto different templates. And we have a insert options as well, so through which we can control the author so they can only add the particular items under the parent item. So we have insert options for that. Then we have some important links like for the study guide or for the practice exam. And I want to show you practically as well something about this portal.
Yeah, Vishal, like a quick time check. We might have
Mhm.
like another 10 minutes. Can you cover the
Mhm.
practical part in 10 minutes?
Yeah, I'm starting with
Okay.
that only. I'm covering
Okay.
that. Yeah. Yes. So this is the cloud portal. Okay. So this is a central hub. As I mentioned, it has having access of all the apps like Content Hub, Personalize, CDP, Connect. Everything is we can access to the same portal. This is a cloud portal, and this is the organization like Altodoes an organization. This is the organization name, and I am having admin access right now. So it is showing admin. Okay. And but we have other things is like we can go to the deploy app from here. So as I mentioned, like, this is a separate exemplar deploy app. Then we can invite the other team members. So we can simply give the email address of the particular user. And as we discuss the roles, so we can, as I'm an admin, I have access to create other admins as well and users as well. And when I give admin, so admin will give access rights to all the applications. Okay. But when I select user, it will app access only. Like I can add the apps, like which app I want to give access to that particular user. So we can select those apps for the users. And then we can go to the support case if you want to create any support case as well. This is the option here as well. And let me show you now the XM Cloud portal. So let me open any of the project for now. So we have a Pages, Explorer, and Content Editor. If I open any of the XM Cloud project, so it will look like this. Like we have these sites, and we can create a new website as well with this option. And under sites, we have three sites right now, and then we have a tools. So it is a basic launchpad as we see in XP as well. So in XM Cloud, it is a kind of a launchpad through which we can go to the page builder. So pages. So if I click on this, you will see like the URL is pages.sitecooklive.io. So this means like this is a page builder. From URL, you can identify like it is a page builder, and we have multiple pages under that. Then we have a component. It is a component builder. So the URL is components.sitecookcloud.io for this. So it is a component builder, and we can create different components in the component builder. I will show you these as well. Then these are the basic settings which we have for the project. Now, if I go to the component builder and let me select any of the content component. Okay. So this is a component builder. Okay. And let's say this is a basic component, and you see like this is a grid area at the back end, and I can move this anywhere. Like if I want this heading here, here, like it's very easy. We can move and change the styling, change the text. I can update anything. And I want to make it as a banner. So it doesn't look good as of now, but we have a lot of options. Like this is a dark theme right now, and we have an option to add the background image as well. So right now it's none. We have option to give the static as well. Static means like I can if I click on the change, I can able to select it from my desktop as well. Then mapped. In mapped, like we can to the GraphQL queries or to the data sources, we can add the media. So if I want to select this image, click on next, and we want to use the SRC of the image. Complete. Okay, so image is added, and we can simply create the banner component very easily. Okay. And after that, like there are a lot of multiple options for the screen sizes as well. If you want to make it for large screen, medium screen, so we can select these screen sizes as well, and we can restage it. We can stage the component and click on the publish, so it will publish the component as well. And then we have a styles here. So styles have like various things, like we have multiple fonts here, we have colors which we can use. Earlier that was a dark background, but we can use these colors, and we can add more colors as well. If I want to add, we can click on add color. We need to give name, and we can use the hex code or those things to add the new colors. Okay. So these are multiple things, like various breakpoints are there. We can add another breakpoints if we want to add. And then we have a data sources. So we can create the multiple data sources by click on this add data source. And then publishing is there. If you want to do the publishing, it is not that much useful. Whenever we're going to create the components or pages, we can do the publish from there only. And these are the settings. So it is not more important for now. And then we have a page builder in which we can easily add the components or remove the components. And the another thing which is more important for now is the deploy app we have. And in deploy app, so we have all the projects listed, and you see like as I mentioned, like we have three maximum environments for every project. Okay, so if I open any of the project, it is having only one environment. I have an option to create the another environment as well. Okay, but I'm not going to do that right now. But if I go to any of the project which is having three environments already, and when I'm going to click on create environment and give it any name like test for now, so it will give me a message like you cannot create another non-production environment in this project. Delete a non-production, because there's a like we can only add two non-production environment and one production. So I'm not able to add the production environment as well now. And we can link that particular environment with the branch for which we want to link. and and we can set this auto deploy or push to the repository if we want to deploy it automatically whenever the new push has been committed. So we can set these options through here, and we have a deployments. If I open any of the existing deployment, so you will be able to see like we have these four steps like provisioning, build, deployment, and post section. So it is like basically the start of environment and all those things. And we have errors, warnings. We can filter it out from here. We can download the logs. We can promote as like all these steps we can do. We can go to the cloud portal as well from this button. Okay, so it will redirect me to the cloud portal. So this is the deploy app, and this is the XM Cloud portal, so which we can access the page editor, component editor, create the components, create the pages, and deploy app is useful for managing the environments and doing the deployments and check the logs and all those things. And other than that, what I want to cover is so official study guide. Yep. So for preparing the exam, what you follow is like this is the official site called study guide. Okay, and in this like we have all the competencies like I discussed most of them, like all of them I have covered. But yeah, you can go through these competencies. It is the official Sitecore guide, and you will get most of the questions. Like if you go thoroughly from this, so it will be very helpful for you, like to clear the examination. Like we have a pages, we have a data sources, grid, we have a like publishing thing. So these are the like security things, like as we discussed, like user security roles, domain security, access right. So these are the some of the like all those things like you will get an idea when you go through these competencies. Other than that, there is one more good thing. Like this is the practice exam which I have created, and I have pasted that link into the slide itself, and I can give you this link as well. So you can simply click on this start exam. So it is a practice exam which consists of 50 questions. So you can go through this exam before giving the actual exam, and you will get an idea like how much preparation you have. So it is having 50 questions. You only need to give your email address and start giving the exam and do the submit. You will get the results on the same time on the screen after completing this practice exam. Okay, then exam purchase link, like from web assessor, we can easily purchase the exam. So it will be the same. Uh, I think, yeah, that's all from my side.
Yeah,
So any,
that's yeah, that's very, very, really good. And the practice exam, yes. Can you paste the link for the people who are joined online in the chat as well,
Mhm.
so that
Sure.
it would be useful for them? And I definitely think that when before going to exam, if we take the practice exam, what Sitecode gives, as well
Mhm.
as this what Vishal has been created, that would be really good. But it was really, really nice presentation, Vishal. It's very good. Like a quick recap of XM Cloud and very useful for the exam preparation. Any other questions, guys? Anyone? Yeah, that's good. Good. It's a very, very good presentation as well, Vishal. Thank you so much.
Yeah, if there are any questions like later on, like you guys can reach out to me on LinkedIn, and you can mail me, or you can reach out to my website as well. So I'm happy to help you. Like if anything is required from my side in while you are planning to give the Exemplar certification exam.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you. So if not, then yeah, thank you so much, guys, for the attendance in this meetup, and we'll be coming back with you with more and more interested topics in the future. So stay tuned and do follow us on our social media channels. There are links posted as well. And we will be also, if you want to share this news to, I mean, this video, we will be sharing that in a YouTube channel, and do watch out our LinkedIn and Facebook page, and do share them with your colleagues, friends, and anyone who wants to do an exam. Thank you so much. Have a great day, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
You.